Okay, moving on. Question 1H. The following 5 graphs are, in some order, plots of fx, gx, hx, and the df dx and dg dx. 3 unknown functions and a derivative of the first 2 functions. Fine, great. Okay, don't know why they had to use some words to describe that. Which graph is a plot of h of x? Okay, so what do? Now we observe the graphs first, right? I mean, they look quite familiar, right? A looks like a quartic because of the 3 lumps it has. You know, A is a quartic, B is a cubic, C is a quadratic, D is a cubic, and E is a cubic. Okay, so we know that the quartic differentiates to a cubic, and we know that a cubic differentiates to the quadratic. Right? So therefore, the answer of H must be within B, D, and E. It must be one of the cubics which gets left out. All right, so let's have a look at a quartic then. Which cubic would it differentiate to? So let's have a look. First of all, it has 3 turning points, right? It has 3 turning points. So therefore, we would expect the cubic to have what? To have 3 solutions, to have 3 roots, right? That means that A does not differentiate to D, because D only has 1 root. Agreed? It would only have 1 turning point if it was D. So it's either B or E. Then let's have a look. Let's say the first turning point, this one, the first turning point. Before the first turning point, the gradient was positive, right? So the cubic should be positive before the first turning point. So therefore, A differentiates to E, right? Because before the first turning point, which is here, the curve is above the y-axis, the x-axis, sorry. The curve is above the x-axis, which means that it's positive. So A differentiates to E. Cool. Now, which cubic differentiates to C then? Which cubic differentiates to the quadratic? Well, let's observe the minimum of the quadratic. The minimum of the quadratic is a negative value, right? So that means that the gradient of the cubic in the center, when x is 0, must be negative. That leaves us with B, right? So B differentiates to C because this is negative here, right? The gradient is negative here. Whereas for D, it's positive. So this is bad. All right, so final answer would be D. D gets left out.